Hola, damas y caballeros del mundo. Bienvenido otra vez al Bee-a-Thon 3. En México hay pocos animales más amados y representados en arte, en cultura y mitología de la mariposa y la abeja. Desde los primeros registros de la espiritualidad de Mesoamérica, al esplendor de la migración de la monarca a los Estados Unidos y la simboliza de las abejas, estas criaturas representan la esencia de la imaginación mexicana, la reinvención de la sociedad moderna y el renacimiento del espíritu humano. So, hello to everybody, and we're talking about bees and butterflies. And as I mentioned, in Mexico, there are a few creatures all across Latin America that are more adored and appreciated than the butterfly and the honeybee. And of course, those are both beautiful pollinators. And I'm pleased to have on the Bee-a-Thon my next guest, who will represent both the American and the Mexican perspective on both. I'm pleased to have back on the Insect News Network, Donna Billick. She is the co-founder of the UC Davis Art Science Fusion Department, along with Professor Diane Allman. And she is the founder and longtime ceramics master with Rock Arts US, Billick Rock Arts. It's one of the top public art ceramic builds companies in the world. And she is a big lover of the bees and the butterflies. So welcome to the Bee-a-Thon, Donna.
Thank you. Buenas tardes. This is absolutely in the center of the target for me. Half of the year I am in Mexico in a compound called Todos Artes, where we make bees. I come up north and work at University of California, Davis, as a co-founder with the Art Science Fusion with Diane Allman. So
the essence of the Art Science Fusion Department is a creation called the Labudio. Let's step over here just a little bit and take a look at one of the creations. Now, the Labudio is on the campus of UC Davis. It's a laboratory and a studio. Part of it is science, part of it is art, and they get to make fun things like this. This is a whole new take on life inside the hives. Now, every one of these is a different image, and it's different life cycles, different parts of the life cycle of the bee inside the hive, right?
Yeah, this is Trophilochus. It's where the bee comes back.
There we go.
It's where the bee comes back, and she's found a great source of forage. She wants to communicate to the other foragers in the hive that she's got something real tasty. So it's just like what you would do at a dinner table when you get your menu, when you get your meal, you give somebody a bite, and then there's an agreement. Once that social system is worked into place, she does this little waggle dance. Like Emmet has been making it really clear that crazy eight, that infinity sign, that is how she tells them, where'd you find that food? So I think that one of the things that first happens in the Labudio is that they immediately have a relationship with the bees.
And also, this is really important. It's not just for kids, it's for adults as well. And that's what, usually when these displays come out, the adults get just as fascinated as the children do. But you know, your expertise goes in many directions. And down in Todos Santos, where you have your art community, as well as here in Davis, you have a business where you make things with ceramics.
Right.
Now it's called Miss Behaven. Right on.
Behaven.
So right over here, we have an example of Donna's art, and this is a beautiful ceramic hive. Now, these pieces have been sold and auctioned all around Davis and around the world as well, and each one of them is a custom designed bee. Donna, do you want to show us to it?
Sure. What we are seeing here is a community build. So what we consider in the Art Science Fusion is that the undergraduates are the community. We also open that up and bring in a lot of different age groups. And what we do is we make it possible for them to intellectually get a feel for the shape and form of the bee. The three body parts, where those legs hook in, where those wings hook in, how the eyes are compound
Marvelous.
eyes. So when the student moves from the intellectual field, then they do the research on their particular topic. It might be the queen, it might be foraging, it might be the guard bee. They come back and they actually talk to the other students. So it's a really different way of going about it. Instead of the lecturer just like sitting people down and saying, you know, zip it, don't talk amongst each other, we in fact turn the teaching over to them right away.
No talking heads in the Art Science Fusion Department. And it's also Donna Billick Rock Arts. How can they find you online?
They can find me at Donna Billick art.
Okay, great.
Under Donna Billick art, there are three sort of flotillas. Billick rock art, 40 years of doing large-scale public art. I really believe in making art available to the widest segment of the population, and this is an issue. This is a topic that totally rocks my house.
Yeah, right
So there's also a whole concept on Todos Artes, and then one on the art science fusion. So the idea here is to create as many little sculptural icons of this bee so that they can be put on a stand and put in a vase of flowers or out in the yard. So each student that makes one of these, it has, from that point out, a little goddess, a little bee.
Everybody
goddess.
can put it right in their own yard, and that's the idea of
right.
taking the art science fusion right back into the house and the home. And I couldn't be more delighted. Thank you for joining us on the Bee-a-Thon 3, Donna.
My pleasure.
Absolutely. Look
Thank
forward to
you.
more good stuff from you as well.
Yes.
And as I mentioned at the beginning of this segment, that in Mexico, the bee has a very, very special significance. But it wasn't until the 1600s when Spanish explorers brought the western honeybee into Mexico that changed the landscape, not only of the land, but also of the lives of the people. And I'm very pleased to show the next example of art science fusion. On the insect tribe, I'm a big believer that the world of urban art and urban culture has a role in disseminating the message about the microcosm. And I'm here with multimedia artist Joey Stumpe. Hey Joey, welcome to the Bee-a-Thon. Come on over here. Thanks for coming on. Now, Joey is the artist that created this beautiful graffiti mural behind us. And Joey, when we decided to do this art together, you chose a theme that wasn't the western honeybee, right? There's just special bees on this piece, right?
Yeah, they're the stingless bees.
Absolutely. Those are the ones down in Mexico that for thousands of years have been revered by the Mayan culture as sacred creatures. And so when I first talked to Joey, we talked about some of the different symbols of the hive. Obviously, the hexagon is there and the rainbow as well. But this isn't just a graffiti piece. This is a multimedia piece, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, could you explain it for the viewers of the Bee-a-Thon? What exactly created these panels?
I used mostly spray paint for the background, and then the bees and the flowers are all done with acrylics.
And this piece is, you gave it a really interesting name, which has a suggestion of this sort of art science fusion, sort of an ancient future perspective. What did we decide to call this?
Micro equals cosmos.
Microcosmos. And this type of art, of course, you can see it all around the world. Graffiti art, maybe as recently as 20 or 30 years ago, was something that people didn't want in cities. And now, of course, especially in Northern California, graffiti art is an essential part of our daily culture. And that's why we're excited to see this. Now, we're going to be auctioning off this graffiti, this beautiful triptych that he created as part of the fundraiser for the Bee-a-Thon. But more importantly, Joey, in this process, as you put in this beautiful flower and sort of this cosmic look, what sort of ideas into the bee did you get that maybe you didn't have before we started?
I mean, relating the microcosmos to the cosmos, that kind of opened up for me.
Sure, and you were able to use, this is why I talk about the insect tribe has a lot of tools in the digital media. These images you were able to grab online and really examine the microstructures of the bees, right?
Yeah.
Now, when you looked at these pictures, first of all, when you're designing these pieces, which part of the bee was most interesting as an artist for you to create?
I really like the pollen on their legs.
Ah, yeah, the pollen sacs down on the legs right there. We talked about that a little bit earlier in the broadcast. So again, this is Joey Stumpe, a multimedia artist based here in Davis. I want to thank you for being on the Bee-a-Thon and this beautiful work of art. You can contact us through the insectnewsnetwork.com. We think it would make a great addition to a school anywhere, and it could also be for a private collection as well. So no matter where you are around the world, if you're in the insect tribe, continue creating this kind of great art, and artists like Joey, happy to have you on the tribe.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we're going to go on to the next segment of the Bee-a-Thon. Remember, keep the buzz going, take the pledge. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back.